welcome back to Ani's World. Today we are talking about how to create your own reality. Now, this is basically just more of a deep dive into alchemy, mentalism, and creating healthy habits for ourselves so that we can change our lives. Now, it's very important that people understand there's no real magical potion to this. It's more so getting up and doing the work. I feel like 50% of it is action and the other 50% is mentalism and getting yourself in the mind frame to be able to complete these tasks or to be able to create this new lifestyle that you want. And this is really, really essential into creating your own reality, because how are you supposed to be creating if you're not doing anything? If you're just sitting around thinking, then, well, you're not creating. Now, we all face many challenges for the reasons why maybe we don't get things done. Maybe we haven't started our business or content creation. We haven't opened up that savings, because we all have things in life that may get in the way. But again, this is mentalism. This is 50% mind and 50% work. So if you know you have something that's in your way, it is up to you to figure out what you can do to remove it out of your way or just make it benefit you. Now, I know that sounds easier said than done, and it can be really frustrating to hear someone tell you that you basically have to turn everything that is putting you down into something that's bringing you up, and that can be really hard. But we live in a day and age where we can go by examples. For example, I see people who are facing homelessness going on social media and telling their stories and going viral and creating their content off of that. I see people who have, well, yeah, who have worked super hard to save up money to open up a business. There are so many different things that you can do to alchemize your life and turn anything that you are going through into gold. Now, again, this is not necessarily easy, but that's why alchemy is so beautiful, because in the process of turning anything into gold, you start to really just go deep on turning your mind into something that can work for you. Because if those people who were homeless had way too much anxiety to the point where they were too afraid of what other people would think about them and their lives, they would have never went on social media and allowed themselves to be vulnerable. Therefore, they wouldn't have a platform. So these are the kind of things that you have to think about while doing alchemy and while creating your own reality. Well, while it may be really easy, all of it is mental. So you kind of have to trick yourself out of fear and out of limits. You have to really allow yourself to fully understand that sky is the limit. And that's why a lot of people talk about doing the work. They want to do the work, but ultimately they don't, because it's really hard to put yourself out there and kind of almost, I don't know. It feels like you might be putting yourself like on stage for everybody to examine and look at and comment on. And that's why it's really important to be focused on your goal and what you want in life and what you're moving towards, because that should always be more important than what people think, how people feel about you, and every single opinion that they have. Because at the end of the day, even when people are talking bad about you, you can alchemize that as well. Every time someone talks bad about me, I make money. Every time someone talks bad about me, I get prettier. As every time someone talks bad about me, I take the energy that they use to speak ill on me or to do ill towards me, and I use that to benefit me. That's transmutation. That is alchemy. And that is what everybody wants to learn, really, and everyone wants to get to. But it's hard because everybody's too stuck in their head, too worried about stigmas and things that don't really matter. I think that that is one of the biggest things that I found easy. And I think that is why I am so successful with alchemizing my life, because the things and the experiences, the things that I've seen, the experiences that I've had, you would not think that I have seen these things and experienced them. I grew up with parents who were raised, who came up during the crack epidemic, so that tells you enough. Um, Everybody in my family really were criminals, honestly. So I grew up around a lot of drugs. I knew the smell of crack by the time I was 4. After my dad died, I went into foster care. I went through a lot of adversities that were really out of my control, especially at a young age, that you would think are supposed to really hinder my growth. But I decided that I don't want to be a part of a statistic. And I noticed that a lot of statistics become statistics trying not to be a statistic. Our ego and pride gets in the way of us being our best selves. And that's why it's also really important to get to know yourself and get to know your insecurities. And I think one thing that I'm really good at is assessing both my strong points and my low points. Points that I know that I am great at, I'm killing it, and points I know that I need to work on. And that's really important to know when you are in the face of adversity. What am I good at and what am I not good at? What am I natural, like what is just a natural ability that I have? You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is definitely show love and naturally do what you're good at, while also kind of, yeah, like sprinkling some water, giving some sunlight and some good fertilizer to the part of yourself where you feel like you need to grow more. And another thing to that is patience, right? Because a lot of people want to alchemize their lives overnight. A lot of people want to be an overnight success. And a lot of people don't understand that that's not really how it happens. 9 times out of 10, that can happen for somebody else, but it might not happen to you. And we also see examples of this, like, I don't know if you guys know the girl Bad Baby. She talks about how her mom had her signed up for Dr. Phil show since she was a baby. So that lets you know that you might think that someone is just an overnight success, but someone else could have plotted that out for them and set the whole scene. Same thing for a woman like Cassie. You might think that someone is super successful and on the right path, and you have something to be jealous of. Whole time they're going through a harder life than you. You just never know. So that's why we want to be successful. We want to definitely fertilize our weaker points and praise our highest points, so that we are not only having wealth, having access, having success, but also being happy with where we are and who we are. And again, when you are in any situation, it is so important that if you feel down, if you feel like something is working against you, you have to easily find a way to make it benefit you. And if it doesn't, then you fully need to remove it, honestly. But I promise you, almost every adversity that you face, there will be something that you can do to make it better and to make it benefit you. It's just like when women are struggling and they need help. They literally go to men and explain to them their problems, and men literally solve their problems. I have had so many times where I had a horrible, horrible day. And then all of a sudden, a provider cash outs me and my day is great. You know what I'm saying? And it just, that is alchemization right there. Ooh, I don't know if that's, I don't know if alchemization is a word, you guys, but hang in there with me. I think it's just really important to really, I like to call it brain exercises. Like, people go to the gym and all that, but I think brain exercises is the most important thing you can do. And even if you have to, put reminders in your phone, I like to make drawings, make paintings. I like to write things down in notebooks. Sometimes I'll even make goals for each week and then check them off. Like, when I'm not feeling my best self, I will literally write down my goals for the week and then check them off. So then not only am I completing my tasks, staying on top of my work, but I'm also like congratulating myself. And at the end, I'll write like my celebrations of things that I accomplished during that time. So that's just like some of the few things that you can do to retrain your mind. Because that's a moment where I might be feeling vulnerable, I might be feeling tired, or I might be feeling like I'm not doing enough. But creating a list for each week with a goal, and then being able to literally see myself checking off these goals, lets me know that I am completing everything I need to complete. And it also subsides my anxiety of feeling like, well, what if I don't? What it Nope, you did. So you don't even have anxiety about if you do, if you did it, okay? Now we're waiting for the next step. And that's another thing. Step by step by step by step is so important. Take your time. I think that a lot of times in my manifestations, I try to jump the gun and I'm also not specific enough. And that's something that I was just talking about. A lot of women manifest a man, which my friend was just telling me about. And then when a man just pops up, they're wondering, where did this horrible, crazy, delusional man come from? And that is the man that you asked for. You was not specific. So say, like, for example, if you have a business in mind, right? The first step for your business would probably be marketing it before it's an official business, because you don't want to go and just start paying for a whole bunch of stuff and investing all this money into something that people have no idea about. That's why a lot of people may start doing hair out of their house, go to school, and then end up in a shop, go to a shop, and then end up in their own salon. Those are the type of steps that are important, because jumping the gun is probably the worst thing that you can do. You might end up asking for something backwards or asking for something in a non-specific way, which is also just as bad, but also fixable, also manageable, because I have done that many times. Now, I think that the most important part about alchemy to me is we are constantly being programmed and conditioned to believe things, and it limits our mind and it limits our creativity. It limits our confidence. But when we are opening our mind to things like alchemy, it's going to make you more confident, because now you're using things for your benefit. Everything can be beneficial, everything can be a stream of income, right? If you are someone who is less functional, the best thing for you to do would be to constantly be studying, reading books, watching videos, especially on how to make money, because you have so much time to study, watch videos, more time than other people who constantly have to move around and do things. Or for example, me, I'm a mom and I want to do my YouTube channel. I'm always excited for my YouTube channel, but it's always hard for me to do a video with my son. So how do I alchemize this? I make a video. Oh, excuse me, that is the trash truck in the background. Anyway, so I decided to make a video, which I have been doing a lot of, incorporating my son into my videos. Doing voiceovers has really helped me tremendously, so that I can record some content and get my message out, which is the most important piece, especially because mostly I'm just talking. But thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. I really hope that this was helpful for you. If there's any like specific questions that you guys have for me, don't be afraid to leave them in the comments. I work really hard on these videos, so I would appreciate if you guys comment, like, and subscribe. If you would like to donate to my channel, my financial links are in my bio. If you would like to follow me, that will be in my bio as well. And I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for watching. This is Ani on how to create your own reality. And these are just some beautiful ways that I love to, like, just make life for me. Make life work for me. My morals work for me. My mindset works for me. My habits work for me. And even when I'm in the face of adversity, I still make it work for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping to do more videos like this. Just because this was really fun, really easy for me to do. The only thing about it was the editing. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of editing, but I did it. Thank you for watching Ani's World. This is just me. I had to go to school today, so this was me just looking all cute and stuff. Bye, guys.